Hello mates, welcome to Full Stack Java Developer. I am Kiran Jadhav here. In this session, I will teach you here views in Spring Boot. See, views it means virtual table. It will help us to fetch data from one or more tables. Then in this session, controller layer we are using Spring Boot, persistence layer we are using data JPA, and the SQL database we are using here PostgreSQL. First we'll come up with the theory context and then we'll start with the practical implementation. See, views in a SQL are a type of virtual tables that simplifies fetch data from one or more tables. In short, you can simply consider views it is a virtual table. It will help us to fetch data from one or more tables. And what are the benefits from views? First benefit, simplify complex queries like encapsulate complex joins and conditions into a single object. Next, enhance security, restrict access to specific columns or rows. And for creating the view, first we'll create the employee table, the next is address table. Then here we are going to give the views name as a employee underscore address underscore view. Then here we are going to fetch data from employee table e.name, and from address we are getting data as a e.city. Then we are going to use here join, and on the basis of like this condition we are going to fetch the data. Like you can simply say employee have ID and address also have available employee ID. Then once it match, then we are going to fetch the data. Then you will get more clarity once we start with the practical implementation. Now we'll start with the practical implementation. Simply come up with the Chrome browser and type here Spring Initializer. See, we are creating here Spring Boot application. Then the application name I am giving here Spring Boot HRM Views. See, here is the project as Maven, the language is Java, Spring Boot latest version we are using. Base package I am passing com.fullstack, and artifact it means our application name Spring Boot HRM Views. Next, refactor the base package, packaging as jar Java version 17. Adding dependencies DevTool for live load. Next, Lombok for it will help us to reduce boilerplate code. Spring Web inbuilt Tomcat server available there. Next, we require the data JPA for persistence layer. We are using here PostgreSQL for database perspective. We require the Swagger, but we'll add it later. Now simply click on generate. See, within a minute production ready application will be available there, right? Simply copy our application and coming to particular folder. There simply right click and go ahead with the extract. Once extraction is done, then copy the path of our application and import the project into IntelliJ. Coming up with the IntelliJ, goes to file, new project from existing sources, giving the path here. Next is simply click on OK. This is Maven project. Click on create trust point with new window. I want to open in another window. Then come up with the pom.xml file, and in pom.xml file we are just going to add Swagger UI dependency. See, here is it, org.springdoc. We are just adding the Swagger UI dependency. See, here is Swagger UI dependency also added successfully, the latest version. Next, come up with the src main resources, open the properties file, and in properties file we are adding the database configuration. Those I am using from my existing application, but in your case you can simply get it from our GitHub URL I am adding in our description box. Then see, here is the view like database we are going to create. Then come up with the Postgres like pgadmin, and then simply you can simply right click on databases here, create database, and the database name I am giving here HRM ViewsDB. Click on save. Our database is created successfully. See, HRM ViewsDB available here. Now simply come up with the schema, and under schema we have available here tables, right? Then you can simply right click there and go to the query tool. Once you are coming here, then definitely you will be able to see like here query tool available, right? Then whatever tables we are trying to create, whatever views, first we'll create those and then we'll start with the coding part. See, here is it. Simply execute it. Like query, you can simply say return successfully, it means everything is done. Now simply right click on table and refresh. there is available two table, address and employee table. If you are coming with views, there is available employee underscore address underscore view, like view also created. Perfect, great. Then now coming to next part is we'll come up with our project, and then simply come up with the Maven and then start the build. mun clean space install. Okay, it will take some time. Then meanwhile we'll come up with the Java com.fullstack. Right click on that, new package. The package name I'm giving here entity package. Next package I am creating package name as, you can simply say, repository. Next package I am creating here new package, the package name as views. Otherwise you can simply say view, that also fine. Next package we are going to create the package name as service package, and the one more package we require, the package name as controller package. Now we'll come up with the entity package. Within entity package I am creating new Java class as employee. Within entity we require the one more Java class as address. Now come up with the view. In that I am creating new Java class, this is employee view. Now come up with the repository. In that I am creating new Java interface name as employee repository. Within repository I am creating new Java, this is, you can simply say, interface name as address repository. Now come up with the again repository itself, we are creating new Java interface, this is employee view repository. Then come up with the service. Within service I am creating new Java class as, you can say, this is employee service. And within service creating the new Java class as employee view service. Now we'll come up with the controller. New Java class I am giving, Java class name as, you can simply say, employee controller. Perfect. Then skeleton is ready. Simply reload our application. Once it reload, we are ready to start with the development, right? Perfect. Then simply come up with the employee.java. Annotate with @data. Lambo connotation itself replaceable with getter, setter and toString. At other constructor, this is parameterized constructor. At nor constructor, this is default constructor. I am using here entity class, and the table name we are just going to mention as employee. Next, using at id, it means this is primary key, and this will be auto incremented. That's why I am using generated value. And strategy defining as identity, generation type as identity. This will be private int, you can simply say id, private string, we are just going to add here name of employee. Then private, this will be address, and here you can simply consider this is 1-to-1 mapping. Then we are going to say here map by which table, employee. And then cascade type dot all. Cascade, it means whatever operations we are going to perform on employee, then mapping entity we have available address, we are going to perform the same operations on address as well. Suppose we are trying to update, delete, save, right? Same operations we are going to perform on mapping entity also. That's why we are calling here cascade. Okay, now we'll come up with the address. Annotate with @data, at other constructor, nor constructor, at entity, at table, and the name of table as address. At id we are adding here primary key, at generated value, and the strategy as identity. This will be private, you can simply say, we'll consider long id instead of integer. Fine, yes. Then same thing for employee also, instead of int we'll make it long itself actually. Okay, see here we have done the change. Okay, long, perfect. Next private, this will be string, you can simply say city. Then private, this will be employee, and the mapping as we are adding 1-to-1. Then we are using here join column, the column name we are mentioning as employee underscore ID. Okay, perfect. Now we'll come up with the employee view. For that I'm using @data $, constructor @nor constructor @entity @table, and here you can give the name. The name we are passing here employee underscore address underscore view. Now we are using @id, and this is, you can simply say, primary key, private long. This will be employee underscore ID we are passing. Okay, otherwise you can simply say such ID. And the column we are passing, you can say the name of column as employee underscore ID. This is solid principle we are following. Like column name, you can simply say underscore, and variable start with the lowercase here, right? Perfect. Next, whatever fields coming from employee and address, those also we are going to mention here. Private string, this will be name of employee. Private string, this will be name of city. You can simply say city. Okay, perfect. Such a way we done with the employee view as well. Now we'll come up with the repository, employee repo. Annotate with @repository. This is optional. Now you can simply use extends. This is JPA repository. This is employee, and the corresponding we are passing as a wrapper class as long. Now come up with the address repo. Annotate with @repository. Then again we are calling here extends. This is JPA repo. Interface extends, right? This is address, and the corresponding wrapper class as long. We'll come up with the employee view repo. Annotate with @repository extends JPA repo. This is, you can simply say, employee view, and the wrapper class itself available long there. Now we'll come up with the employee service. Annotate with @service annotation, and within service we are just acquiring here acquired private. This will be employee repository, and here we are just going to write only one function like save data, but if you want update, delete, those also you can go ahead. Okay, public, this will be I'm giving as employee. You can simply say save, and we are passing here entity as a employee. Now we are just adding here, this will be like, you can simply say address equal to employee.get address. Then we are just going to call address.set employee. We are going to set the employee here. Now simply to return, this will be employee repo dot, there is available inbuilt method in data JPA save, and we are adding here employee. Such a way we done with the employee service. Okay, format the code base, do Control A, Alt Control L. Okay, yeah, it will format the code base. Perfect, great. Now we'll come up with the next we have available employee view service. Annotate with @service. Then here we are using @wide. This will be private. You can simply say employee view repository, and here I am just going to write the method public. We are trying to fetch list of data for our employee view. There will be available data for employee as well as address. Then here you can simply say this is find all. Now simply to return employee view repo dot find all inbuilt method available in data JPA. We are just going to format the code base, Control A, Alt Control L. Such a way we done with the service layer. Now coming to next, and this is the last layer as a controller layer. Annotate with @REST controller @request mapping, and here we are passing, this is base URI as employees. Now using @wide, this is private, you can say employee service. Again we are calling @wide, this will be private employee view service, and the first API I am writing here, this is post mapping. You can simply say we are trying to save data for employee. This will be public response entity. Here I am passing input as a, you can say, employee, and the method as a save, right? Then see the return type itself we are passing here employee, the method itself we are passing save, and the corresponding request payload means request body we are passing for employee. Now simply call return, this will be response entity dot okay. We are calling here employee service dot save employee. Coming to next, at get mapping, it means we are trying to read the data. It means you can simply say find all. we are trying to fetch list of data. Public, this will be response entity. It will be type of list. List, it will be type of our employee view. You can simply consider. And the method name as find all. Now simply to return, this will be response entity dot okay employee view service dot find all. Such a way we done with the entire coding part. Now we are very excited to start our application, right? Simply come up with the main class main method and start our application. Okay, we are expecting it will go to work on port number 8080. Meanwhile, I will just enable the DevTool dependency here, come up with the Maven settings, and here come up with the compiler and just check the build process automatically. Click on apply and OK. See, we are just waiting to see application goes to start and the port number is 8080. Yes, it's up and running. Now we are just hitting here, this is localhost, this Swagger UI we are hitting here swagger-ui.html, right? Yes, we are getting like no operations defined in spec, right? If such issues comes, you don't need to worry about that. You can simply come back to your application. Okay, the solution is very simple. First thing, you can simply check the Swagger UI dependency. See, here is it, right? We have available Swagger UI dependency available. Once you have added the dependency, next step, simply build the project. Okay, here we are just trying to build the project, and once build is success, then we'll reload our application. 100% sure it will goes to work. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Now we are just waiting to see build success message. Perfect. Here is build success message, right? See, here is it, build success. I just highlighted. Once it's success, simply reload the project. Reload it, no worries. Okay, and then you can start the application. And now we are expecting 100% sure Swagger goes to work. For that perspective, you can simply hit localhost :/swagger-ui.html. See, we are just waiting, right, to see Swagger up and running. Yes, here is up and running, right? Yes, just try it out. And here ID is auto increment. I am not going to pass the ID. I will pass the name of employee as Sora. The next address also we are not passing any ID. The employee also you can remove here. And the city we are just passing here Pune, India. Simply execute. We are expecting data goes to insert into database, but it like can't parse a JSON, right? Raw result. If such issues comes, then yes, we are going to sort it out. For that perspective, you can simply come up with our employee.java, and here like whenever we are trying to add one-to-one annotation, right? Yeah, below that you can simply use the annotation as @JSON manage reference in employee.java. Okay, because now it will goes to parse the JSON as well. And from address side we are using here, after this one-to-one join column, you can simply use @JSON back reference. Those two annotations you can simply add, and just wait for DevTool. It will goes to live reload, and once it live reload is done, then we are going to test our APIs. Okay, yeah, live reload is done, right? Perfect, great. Then here I am passing data I am passing for Lakshmi, and Lakshmi we are just going to say Mumbai, India. Execute. See, data inserted. Perfect, great. And now if you are trying to fetch it, just call here find all, try it out, execute. See, there is available two records, like one is for Sora, the second one is available Lakshmi. And again, if you want to save one more records here, I am just adding the record for your Deepak. We are just giving here PCMC India. Execute it. See, data inserted, right? Third number record. Then same data you will be able to see in table as well. Simply right click on employee, just view all rows. There will be available 3 employee details like Sora, Lakshmi and Deepak. Perfect. And if you are checking with the address table, simply right click there, go to the views all data, right? Yeah, then see there is available Pune, India, Mumbai, India, PCMC India, right? Such a data available there. Perfect. Now come up with the views. Simply right click there and just view all rows. you will be able to see the mapping also available there, right? See, like you are able to see employee ID 1 2 3, correct? And here Sora, Lakshmi, Deepak, and the corresponding city as well, Pune, India, Mumbai, India, PCMC, India, right? Yes, like view it means this is the virtual table and we are able to fetch the data as well here. If you are trying to execute all, right, then see here is available all 3 records. Okay, by using views we are able to fetch the data from one or more tables. Then here we have available table as employee, the data coming as name here, the address table there is available city. It means we are able to fetch data by using views from different tables. Then such a way we done with our entire implementation, and this code base I will upload on GitHub as well. Okay, now only I will upload on GitHub. See how to create the branch, how to create the repository. You can simply come up with a new repo, and here I am giving here views example. Here I am just giving Spring Boot with views. Now this is public repo, anyone they will be able to access it. Perfect, our repo is created. Then definitely we are trying to clone in local. For that perspective I am just coming back to here, right, and creating the one more folder here. This is, you can simply say, local repo folder, just using here cmd, and then you can simply use like git clone space and give the URL. It will start with the cloning, right? cd, go in that folder. Now we'll simply come back to here and adding our entire project into our local repository. Here is it. Okay, and in readme file I am just adding some theory context for your understanding perspective. Okay, whatever theory available here, the all theory I am just adding within readme file. You can simply check the readme file. Okay, perfect, great. Then now this backup file I will delete. Coming with the command prompt, simply use git add dot, it will add all the files. Git commit -m, this is I am giving initial commit as message. The next I am calling here git push. Then see this code base available on centralized repository. You can simply refer this code base for your understanding. Fine, see here is it. Even create table, everything available there, create view, everything available here. Okay, if you are coming with the views like src main, then com.fullstack, right, there you will be able to see all the entity and controller classes as well. See one screen, here is it, right? You can simply refer this code base for your understanding perspective, but till if you are facing any difficulties, then feel free to ask your questions. Okay, yeah, then thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share, subscribe the channel to get more updates, and see you in next video.